Hello from the lake, Phuket, Elephant Nursery. I'm here just about to go and give Anna some sugar cane here, one of their favourite snacks. Anna is one of the resident elephants here, enjoying ethical tourism here at the lake, where we try to rescue elephants from cruel situations or where they have been maybe working in harsh conditions, and give them a break so that they can relax and enjoy food and the natural surroundings here at the lake. And this is the only lake sanctuary in Phuket with an actual lake, and it's lovely to go in the water with the elephants. So I'm just going to give Anna this sugar cane. Oh, who have we got in here? Hello, YouTube and Alpha Beta. Hi. Okay. Hi, Anna. You want that? You want that? There you go, my love. Enjoying that? Only got the one, I'm afraid. Yeah, how are you doing, Anna? You enjoying it here? Yeah, are you saying thank you? That's all right. You're welcome. Hi, whale or beef. Yeah. My hat is okay over there. Maybe that. Nah. Yeah. But this is why I love working here. Well, do I work here? Kind of. I help with communication and help trying to get the word out. Really, that's kind of my job here. We have one visitor today from Germany who heard about us, but what we're trying to do here is promote ethical tourism with elephants. You might have heard about some of the places here that use elephants in kind of circus tricks. You see how she grabs the. Let me try and give you a view of that. She grabs the. Oh. What are you looking for? Huh? What are you looking for? Oh yes, that's that's right. Yeah. Hey. Oh. I'm sorry, Anna. I don't have anything. Yeah. Sorry. I know you're expecting food. Yeah. It's all right later. Yeah. No food. Yeah. Look at that. So the trunk here, you might notice, is slightly different to African elephants. Yeah. The African elephants have a kind of double prong thing. These have this one kind of shape. Yeah, so slightly different there for the African and Asian elephant. All right. Oh, don't mind me filming you. It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the idea is, no chains, no hooks, and no riding. I was talking to a visitor the other day who was, at first he was dubious, but someone had told him he must come. So they came with their family, and it was lovely. He said he was really pleased because, years ago he'd been on one of those elephant trekking tours, and he just didn't like it because they sit you on the elephant, and the elephants aren't allowed to go off trail, and they get whacked with the hooks. So he was really pleased to see this here and just be able to interact on a more humane level with them. Yeah. So this deer is actually, this isn't the one that took the banana plants down, whale or beef. This is the older one, the 70-year-old. As you see, she really just plods along. The younger one, who's still like a teenager, is quite a lot kind of faster and adventurous. You know, this old gal has seen it all. Glenn, hi Glenn Sachs. Yes, this one is over 70. Oh, Glenn, you just reminded me, you asked me when we were doing a live stream, I didn't see it at the time, but you asked me about using mulch in the garden. And yes, we do, because there's all these leaves that build up from the tree there. They're all stacked under that tree, so we do use mulch. And occasionally, I'll take back some elephant manure. Oh, YouTube. Yeah, well, you're welcome to come. Oh, by the way, I know most of you watching this probably are not, haven't taken the Jabberwocky, but Thailand has now, well, it did open up with this kind of what they call test and go scheme, and then they closed it down again with the Omicron, and now they've finally realized, opened it up again. So for a few weeks, tourists were suddenly found themselves not being allowed to get their visa to come to Thailand. But they've reinstated that now. So basically you can come to Phuket on what they call test and go. If you've had the Jabberwocky, you can come, you still have to do the tests, but then you come and then I think you just spend a day at the hotel and then you're free to roam around. Yeah, same here, Hugh. And it's good to see what's happening in England, but I don't trust the narrative. There's still a long way to go with that, but I do hope that eventually happens here because masks are a legal requirement here. You have to wear them when you're going outside, so that I don't see that will change anytime soon. But of course you can, what they don't talk about is that you still can come here, and just like you can go to other countries, I suppose, without the Jabberwocky, you just have to stay in quarantine. What's that, YouTube? Your mum had 3 of them. It was creepy. Oh man, yeah, same here. It's just like Russian roulette, isn't it? So I hope she's okay. And YouTube, it's manic, isn't it? Because you can't, once they've taken that option, you can't. There's no point in kind of trying to persuade them not to. Isn't it? You're just going to end up in bad arguments and to make them feel bad. She got really, but I don't know if it was that. She was back to, oh, good to know that, you. Who knows? I mean, who knows? Yeah, everyone reacts in a different way, right? We all react to illnesses and things in a different way. So, yeah, hopefully, I think for the most part. Yeah, good point, YouTube. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right, because then you end up getting stressed yourself, don't you? And it's nothing you can. And I think that is one of the major. That's a really good point. One of the realizations we have on this journey is that there's nothing you can do to persuade people that aren't ready to listen or think for themselves. You just know that you've taken those steps. You've had the courage to question your beliefs. And you've realized what's really going on, but also realized that none of us actually really know what's really happening, but at least we can see through the illusions and the deceptions, and we can get on with a more constructive, down-to-earth life that's more of a maybe you get back on the path. I think, every single one of us has come here for a reason. There's an experience to be had, no matter what we believe. Yeah. And I think that's very precious, and that's very, if you can look at life as a lesson, or a whole bunch of lessons as a school, then we just keep on learning, and that's okay. As long as you're striving in that sense, then then I suppose mission accomplished, really, isn't it? No need to be hassling other people. Of course, it's fantastic to be creating the awareness, and maybe a lot of the changes, the recent changes, might not have happened if people hadn't, brave people, dedicated people, hadn't stood up for what's right, you know, or pointed out what's going wrong. You know, so, you know, it's funny, isn't it? We're so focused on animal rights, like giving this animal the freedom as much as we can. She's still controlled. She can't really leave here. But maybe I can show you how, yeah, you see how they thrash things when they pick them up. That's to get all the dirt off, yeah? Who's that, Tom? Hello. Difficult to see the screen, it's very bright here. True, you. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think that's the same. You know, there's only so much you can do. It's like, yeah, it's an individual choice. Yeah, of course, what's evil about it is the way it was pushed upon us, and you know, the Hobson's choices for many people. Sorry, losing the signal and getting too far away, or just hope you're back there. Yeah, well, this is in the wilderness, okay? So, oh, look at our lovely, you probably can't see it, a whole flock of birds going across the lake there. Yeah. I think you would fit in there, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say alternate view. Yes, you should be glad. Or Effie made us question everything closer. Absolutely. Yeah, really helps. Keep saying it's, you know, this is it. Effie isn't a cult. It's not necessarily a community. You do come across like-minded individuals that are on that truth-seeking journey. There are detractors in there, of course, like anything. But it's not a cult, because no one's telling you to follow any particular leader or any kind of doctrine. Yeah, the whole idea is to discern the difference between knowledge and belief. Yeah, and it just so happens that the Earth being a globe is a belief, along with all sorts of other things, yeah, that are just beliefs. And, you know, that's the thing. When the thing is, and you know, the truth, what is the truth? No one really knows the truth. We still don't know the truth, but if you're seeking it, you'll at least maybe get a little bit closer to it, yeah. It's gonna... There's some birds skimming across the lake. I thought it would make a nice view. Let's see if we can. I just think it's very paradisical. This is the trail the elephants take to get to the lake. They come down here, but they're see these. I wonder if you can see those birds over there. Kind of. There you go. There's herons. Big flock of herons. What's that? It's nuts you're there and still do streams. So this is the kind of the restaurant, the lake. It's lovely. Hello, Melody. Hello. Thank you for your kind words recently. Oops, what's that? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, so I should get back to the elephants, because that's what this is all about. Here we go. Elephant doo-doo. There's evidence of elephants. And, you know, it's funny, isn't it? Let's be scientific about evidence. Okay, there's elephant poo. I reckon there's elephants around here. A lot easier than finding curvature. And there's a real elephant. Oh, it's like a paradise or something. Oh, yeah, well, it's nice, you know, and I got to keep reminding myself of that, you know. I mean, I worry about my kids' education and things like that. And, you know, the roads here are very dangerous. I mean, hundreds of people have already died on the roads since January. Like, it's mental. It's something like 700 people. Yeah. since New Year. And that's just the number of people that died on the scene. That's not counting the people, stuff like that. It's just that's the thing. It is paradise in many ways, and I love the culture and I love the Thai people. But there's a lot of things about it that, in the eyes of a Westerner, could be improved. Yeah, that's right, alternate view. Tom Budas, we can't get fluoride out of the water. Yes. Rich, hello, Rich Spillman. Yeah, that's it. So, personally, my personal journey, I'm trying harder now to be just, I'm enjoying life that's a more cleaner lifestyle. I gave up smoking a while ago. I still enjoy the odd Toki Woke now and then. I kicked that cigarette addiction, and it's nice. You see people around you kind of leading very addictive lifestyles, and the more you get away from those addictions, all those things, and thoughts and beliefs and habits, ways of being, these are all addictive. And I think this is why, for example, when you come to talking about the ego, that mostly rules our lives, and this is, of course, what we've seen really coming out with in recent days with the the whole Rona thing. A lot of people have just, it's like attention seeking. They don't realise that by continuing, what they're doing to perpetuate the thing, because they just want to be, seen to be taking part, or virtue signaling, or whatever it is. It's just, and that's just self-destructive. Wow, you're getting cold nights where it drops to -2 and -3. Yeah. But I miss that, to be honest. It's like of course, as I was saying, it's you've got to remind yourself, and I think that's important for any of us, wherever we are. I look around and there's like 7 of us in my family, but we're living in a tiny bungalow, 3-bedroom place, and it's a bit of a kind of there's a bit of a squeeze in there, but at the same time, I feel so wealthy, I feel so rich, and my family's all there, and it's really important to enjoy and appreciate these things, wherever we are, and like all of us, I'm sure we all, I'm the same. You spend time planning for the future, or wishing that things were a certain way, or and that's okay to a certain extent, isn't it? You don't get things done unless you kind of plan for them, but I think we spend a lot of the time often ignoring the now, and wishing or looking at some other future, thinking about some imaginary future, it's that's the thing, isn't it? The life's full of distractions, and this is the whole thing that's gone on in the past 2 years has all been based on fear, and it's all been based on models of a fantastic future, where tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions even were going to cop it if they didn't mask up or didn't hide away. But it's interesting, it's interesting. I wonder if people are coming to their senses. Let's see. You've quit 5 times. Lovely, nice one. It's tough, isn't it? It's a rough one. But these are the things, I think if you're on that kind of journey, you can embrace those things. When you detox, you embrace the headaches, or you go with it. You know that it's part of the process. The getting the toxins out, and you kind of so that's it's nice, isn't it? It's nice to build that awareness of what's going on with the body. Yeah. So what's that? I didn't want to replace one habit with it. Yeah, my sentiments too, Glenn. I just went cold turkey too, and I did that before for 2 weeks quarantine. I did it when I was in the UK. I quit. Well, it was a good choice, good time to quit, because it's bloody expensive, and I just thought, time to get healthy, and I wanted to make sure I got back to my family. At the time when I was stuck in the UK and didn't know when I'd see my family again, that's a real kind of stark life. Well, I just, it's like, okay, you gotta stay fit and healthy. You got to get back to your family. Sorry, guys. All right. Okay. It's difficult to keep a good signal going here. So it's just. Oh, hi, Rich. What's that? Reminds me of the person that went on vacation and thought with a bigger boat he could catch more fish, and the local asked what for. To vacation like yeah. What's that? Melody? Zed? All things are so hard to change permanently, our habits. Yeah. That's right. Isn't it? Yeah. So I think that's the thing. The awareness that this truth seeking, when you're looking for the truth, and you realise that you've been lied to about so many things, or people have lied to themselves about certain things. This is all about discerning between belief and then the habits become belief. It's recognizing those things, isn't it? Recognizing that thoughts and actions and things, reactions are all kind of programmed into us. That's the thing in seeing the programming, not only in others but in ourselves. And this is all about personal development. So realizing that the earth is not a spinning ball is, as I was saying earlier on, it's not a cult. It's just one of those realizations of the way things are, and how easily we can deceive ourselves, how we can let the ego take control, and how I think actually you look at life, and maybe that's the whole thing here of this biological, technological simulation, if you like, is that you can, unlike a video game where there are always going to be a certain number of outcomes. You can predict when an enemy is going to pop up or something. Life isn't like that. Life is just like, it can take any manner of directions. Do we get one go at it? Do we get lots of goes at it? Who knows? If you think about reincarnation and things like that, well, do any of us really know what happened before this life here? But what's that, Rich? Some suggest smoking is worse than heroin. Possibly. This is it. They're all of these addictions. It's we can be so easily consumed with an addiction. Could be just from sitting in front of the TV or playing video games to anything. Just a way of thinking can become an addiction. You get stuck in this kind of and that, I think that's one of the most, and it's one of the, just heroin, cigarettes and all that thing. They're kind of, yes, they're very harmful, and they have such a grip on our lives, but at the same time, isn't it funny, because they're so subtle, aren't they? And so but even though smoking cigarettes is a very physical thing, and you can notice every time you pick up a cigarette and things like that, what's important is the habit breaking of what's in the mind. And yeah, so emotions and things can be as habitual and stuff as I just say goodbye to the customer, as smoking. Oh, hello, who's that? Flat Earth Head, hello. Yeah, that's right, Glenn. Someone, another visitor arriving. I wonder if this. I'm not sure. I've come to pick up there. Oh, okay, we still have our customer there. Okay. Yeah. You know, so it's funny, isn't it? You see, when you see familiar arguments, you start looking into this. You know, and you see the same old things that are passed off as consensus, and they they have become consensus, and they are passed off as fact. For Earthhead, Walt from it's okay. You're Walt. Okay, is that so? You're Flat Earth Head, Walt. I didn't know that. Good to see you, man. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so in personally, my personal journey has been that is kind of trying to spot, to notice these things that go on in our heads. What's that? Rich, the shape is the beginning of finding real light and all new lies. Yeah. But we're our own, we're our own worst enemies, aren't we? I mean, what we are seeing here unfold in the last few years, or everywhere, in every aspect of the media and things, is just, the way humans are, the way we can deceive each other, and the way we can deceive ourselves. And we have a world of opportunists. It's no different to the natural world, where we have to be on guard. We have to be looking out for, you've got to be looking out for number one. And, something I wanted to talk about was that, one thing I heard a long time ago was that a lot of people struggle with the idea that now the way this person put it was that Jesus loves you. Now, taking that out of any kind of religious context or Christian context, I think what is an important realization to have is that no matter what you've done or the way you've been, some of these things, we've all got regrets, we've all got skeletons in the closet and things like that. And you see, one of the main defense mechanisms when it comes to examining our beliefs and things like that is, of course, we are bound to feel an enormous sense of guilt for some of the things we've done. It could be just for having a pork chop. It could be something where we've fobbed someone off, or we didn't say what needed to be said to a friend and then they passed on, or certain things, so many things. I mean, every single day can be a lesson in life, right? But the thing is, I think what happens, when it comes to this truth-seeking journey is often, we start to recall the things that we did, and we'll avoid that guilt. Yeah. And I think that the guilt is often a massive barrier, because you can end up feeling, I'm going to just squat down here a minute. You can end up thinking to yourself, well, I don't deserve to be happy. People talk about, getting enlightened and meditating and a spiritual path that will ultimately lead to this kind of happiness. But none of these things are intentional. Of course, you might start out with the intention of you want to become a certain way, but ultimately what happens, you might make steps towards that, but ultimately on the journey you have to let go of that desire. You have to let go of the which is a suffering, the desire to be a certain way, to achieve a certain thing. Ultimately, while you're striving to do it, you're not going to achieve it. You will achieve it once you let go. And that's kind of the one, I think, some of the final steps that you can take on this journey is the letting go, and then life takes on it's more about trusting the universe and just going with really going with the flow in that sense, not thinking about what might or might not come as a result, but leading your life, based on that, rather than decisions being muddied by thoughts and beliefs that are only born out of the ego. Yeah, that's right. You see the propaganda, but you see the propaganda is funny because we know how it works, and people, it's like, it's not that complicated, it's not that difficult to understand, and we actually, we do it to each other. We use propaganda ourselves all the time to get what we want. So it's so funny to see kind of, you've always got a choice, haven't you, to you can watch the play and get thoroughly involved in it, or you can kind of take yourself away from being in the audience. It's funny, you've always got that choice, but it's difficult to remember that choice a lot of the time. Anyway, so that's nice. Well, thank you for coming along, and allowing me to share my thoughts and sharing the view of the elephants. I can't get too. I'll turn around there. Yeah, I can't get so close now. Well, beef, the micro and the macro base foundational sciences are corrupt sciences we cannot physically see. Yeah. That's it. I mean, of course it's a science. What's going on in the mind is a science, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It is a science. And that's so funny. And that's what's kind of funny, isn't it? Because yes, it's a personal journey. And of course, we're trying to convey this. It's the subjective and objective nature of reality. Objectively, we're all experiencing something on that level. But you can't, there's nothing tangible to show. It's all happening in here, in the heart, in the mind. It's actually very fascinating. It is fascinating. And that's the thing. All of this, isn't it? Right, I'm gonna go across this rickety bridge now. I love this. One thing I loved about when I first came to Phuket was if you ever came across a stream or anything like this in Bangkok, it would just be black with dirt and crap. But this is lovely. It's just see that? It's just lovely clear water. You could probably drink it. Yeah, coming down from the hills. Yeah, it's lovely. That's one nice thing about Phuket here. I'm gonna just get into the shade so I can see the. It's probably about 85 Fahrenheit at the moment, something like that. Oh, check out this dog! Look at this dog. This dog is just chilling. All right. Hello. Hello. Yeah. That's a good point. Good point you make about the answers are within. Yes, it's helpful to have gurus and things like that. I was mentioning this the other day, and Subtle Infinity. Go check him out if you don't know him. Subtle Infinity does some lovely talks about his journey, and everyone's journey. But yeah, it's interesting. You even got people like, well, he refers to the big spirit, like Big Pharma. You've got Big Spirit, where you've got these gurus who kind of attract masses of people who are looking for that self-development, but then they kind of lead them a bit further down the path of truth-seeking, independent truth-seeking, but they don't lead them to becoming independent. They take them off and so, for example, this guy Sanguru was advocating the Jabberwocky. So it's like, man, just more controlled spiritualism, I suppose. Yeah. What's for lunch? So yeah, ultimately, I think, you know, what one of the stark, let me just get back to one of the stark realizations we have is that, okay, it's funny, you know, at some point in your life you realize you're alone. You know, if you know, you eventually become separate or independent from your parents, and or your parents pass on, and you know, you realize, oh shit, I'm dealing with this life on my own. You might have family, you might have a wife, you might not, you know. So that can be frightening too. When I was talking about the fear of the discovery, the truth-seeking journey, one of those truths that you realize is that you are totally alone in this journey. You know, you have to you know, understand, you know, you are in this is it, you realize there is responsibility, that you have responsibility for your thoughts, actions and deeds. But then of course we feel guilty for not seeing that or not realizing that earlier on. But that's okay. This is what I meant about the point where people talk about, you know, no matter what, Jesus loves you. Again, this isn't coming from a Christian standpoint. It's just a way that it's been expressed, that love or consciousness, that love is there always, no matter what you do, because the things we feel guilty about or think about as right or wrong are, again, beliefs that have been instilled or indoctrinated into us. We don't really know if this whole thing here is like a social experiment anyway. Then maybe it doesn't matter what you do. It's all just lessons in what life is all about. Yeah. The Godhead having an experience, and then you go back to the Godhead at the end of it. Who knows? We don't know. This is the thing. So do you see what I'm saying about that's why it's difficult for so many? And I'm sure we all faced, there's a nice heron going. I wanted to catch that heron flying past, making a nice sound. Sorry, yeah, I got distracted. But this is why I think people stop. You know, this is what the blinkers go on, the filters go on. It's a natural instinct, because it's about the ego's self-preservation. This is me, I'm this, I'm that. You know, you put your labels on, and a lot of the time people want to stick to their labels. You know, whether it's, you know, all sorts of things that kind of, we spend our lives trying to define ourselves because that's what we think we're supposed to do. But if only people were telling us from an early age, and the media was telling us, and the school was telling us, the education institutions and our culture was telling us, it's all, whatever you are, whoever you are, that's who you're supposed to be. Celebrate that. Don't try to be something that you're not, which is what a lot of us spend. Sometimes we can spend our entire lives trying to be something that we're not supposed to be, because we're born into this illusion. Yeah. And I'm sure every single one of us struggle with that on a daily basis. This is the struggle. This is the suffering that we face, because most of the time we're being, our thoughts are being influenced by things which are telling you you're supposed to be this way, you're supposed to be that way, you're not supposed to be like this, you're not. But the thing is, whoever you are, whatever you are, that's the way you are, and that's the way you're supposed to be, and that's okay. You've got your function, you've got your place in the world. Yeah. Is that Melody? No matter if a family or spouse, we eventually realize they're alone, we must face it as our journey. Yeah, that's true, isn't it, Melody? But I was going to say, that's the thing. That's horrible in a way, to realize that you're alone on this journey. Only you are responsible for what you think or what you believe or the way you react. Yeah, but after that comes the realization that you're not alone, because you're just part of this source of wisdom and knowledge, just as I think it was you, Glenn, saying earlier on that, you know, that's it. It's not down to the books. It's not down to any of this. It's all it's within that. The knowledge and the wisdom is within, is there inside at that source. So we don't need the gurus. We don't need the books. We just need to detach from the illusionary world that we are surrounded by, and the illusions that we create in our mind, and the illusions that the ego upholds to keep itself alive. And when we do that, and we are alone, we are also back down to earth with the source, and you're not alone. It's funny, isn't it? You have to go through that realization of being alone before the other realization comes that you're not actually alone. Between the birds in your background, the frogs and crickets in mine. Oh, nice. Oh, lovely. Nice one, Glenn. A bit of synchronicity going on there. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. And it is, isn't it? It's difficult. It's actually difficult, and it's a challenge that I've taken on gladly with intrepidation, but I'm glad I've done it, because, to be alone with your own thoughts. It's horrible. It's terrifying a lot of the time, because you want distraction. You want the TV on. You want Alan Watts or someone in the background talking to you while you're trying to go to sleep until you eventually do, or something like that. But ultimately, you got to get over that and be comfortable with your own thoughts. It's tough. It's not easy. Not many of us can actually do it, because it's frightening, because the thoughts and memories and realizations, the guilt and all those emotions, they're all tucked away in there, and they have to come out. If you're going to heal yourself, then you have to come out. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. It's been wonderful. Thank you for letting me spout. And I just hope it's kind of been therapeutic for you as much as it has been for me to talk and to see these natural surroundings. And I don't know if you can see the elephant in the background there. Okay, there she is. All right. So I hope that's been a nice interlude for you on this Sunday morning, and I wish you all a great day, and we'll catch up soon. Yeah. Okay, take care. Bye bye.